this is Liz. Welcome to my little urban homestead and welcome to Fabric Friday. Making a jacket this week and I'm inserting pockets. It isn't on the pattern, but I think, well, there's patch pockets version, but I prefer a jacket where you can put your hands in the sides. So to make your side pockets, what you basically do is think about putting your hand in and putting it down and just draw round, because you've got to allow seam allowance and space so your hand isn't really tight, but just put your hand down, draw around it, keep this as a straight line because this will go to your side seams. So that's all I've done, and you need to cut 4 of them. Now this is the garment, the jacket I'm making. I've just sewn it together at the side seams. So what we want, this is the right side. I know that because it's got dots in, and this is a nice pretty side and not the side that's got the actual dot in. But you then get your piece, decide where you want your pocket. Now obviously if you put it down there, it means that it's going to hang below the jacket, so you need it higher. So I'm going to put it there so it allows me a bit of space, and just pin it to it where you want it. That's the back, this is the front. So obviously I want them both to match up, so with me sewing them together at the shoulder seams, I can see exactly where they are. So I need to place the top of one there. So again, make sure it's the right side, get your pocket, the top goes against it, the pin, and put pins in. That way it'll match up exactly with the pocket on the back. So that's one side done. Let's turn it over and get the other side now. It's easy to sort it out for the back. So there it is. Now we actually would want this the same, because you don't want your pockets wonky, do you? So we just line it up where it's going to be the same height, and that's where I need to put the pocket. Check I've got my right side, so I can put my right side of the pocket. These don't actually have a right or wrong side, but if you have a right and a wrong side, you want it right sides together, and just pin that one in place. Now let's get the front to this. Measure, put them side by side. I need the pocket to go there, so put my pin there, turn it over, line my pocket up, I hope this is picking it up, probably not. So that's exactly where I want all my pockets. So now we just sew on all of them where your pins are. I start just below my pocket, and if you're having like 1/2 inch seam allowance, then on these make it under that, your seam allowance, for sewing your pocket on. Just drop your needle, lock your stitch, the end of your pocket, lock your stitch, scissors, and that's the pocket sewn in place. So now I'm going to do it on the other ones. Now I've already pinned one side and I'll show you the other. You put your side seams together at the armhole and pin down till you get to the pocket. What I do then is totally ignore the pocket, but make sure they're lined up at the bottom, and then pin down to the bottom. Then just lay pockets out there and put a couple of pins in them just to hold it in place, and go round, so all the way down, but don't go across and down. When as soon as you get to your pocket, reinforce it there, go round the pocket, reinforce there and back down, and I'll show you on this now. Just check you can see all right. That angle might slightly be better. Now it's just a matter, like I said, of sewing down it. Using whatever seam allowance that you are using, whether that's 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, 1 centimetre, whatever. Take your pins out as you go, because you do not want to sew over them. Now you want to get your needle basically as far down as your seam allowance is. So if you're using 1 centimetre seam allowance, let's just hold to the back of this, that's it. If you're using 1 centimetre seam allowance, you really want to take it down 1 centimetre. Now reinforce in whatever way you can. You can reverse and then take it forward. Needle down, raise your foot, and then pivot your work, and don't knock everything off the side as well, so that you've got your seam allowance there. Now it is bulky here, so take it nice and slow and steady. Going to reinforce again. So it won't do any harm, and if it does good, brilliant. Pin out, check my seams are still together, and my edges. Now as you've seen, I'm just holding it with my hand and letting it slowly turn itself. So that's how you would sew a circle. I'm not pivoting, I'm just putting a little bit of pressure down here to turn it. The edges are still level. It's a fiddle, but all sewing's a fiddle. Just looks so good when you see it and you think, I've done that. So, go in, back to reinforce, forward, needle down, foot up, pivot completely, foot down, few stitches, then reverse to reinforce, because obviously putting your hands in and out the pocket all the time, it needs reinforcing there because it's going to take a lot of strain. And then all the way to the bottom. When you turn your work over to the right side, so this is the right side of the jacket, you can tell there's the dot, and there is the pocket, and that's all it is to making a pocket and inserting it. Now if you want, you can top stitch around the pocket, but I find that's not necessary. Just iron it slightly, but you can top stitch the pocket if you want to. But there's the pocket, and I'll show you this when it's done. This isn't the size for me, but I'll just put one sleeve in, well, one sleeve on, and you can see actually. Yeah, it's too small to get across my chest, but other than that it's the right size. And you can see the pocket there, nice big deep pocket, but on the inside of the jacket you can't see anything because it's fully lined. If you want to add side pockets and insert them on a garment that's already made, all you have to do is take apart your side seam just where you want the pocket, insert it as we did, and then sew it up around the pocket, and it's there, done. So that's 2 ways you could add pockets to an existing garment, and that's these inserted pockets or the patch pockets that we did just before Christmas. So thank you, Happy New Year, bye.